Today I want to echo a line from the first reading, a beautiful line from the letter that St. Paul writes to the bishop of Ephesus, Timothy. And Paul says, "You did not receive a spirit of cowardice, but you received a spirit of power, love, and self-control." So Paul makes a contrast between the spirit of cowardice, love, power, and self-control. So today I want to explore a little bit the link between cowardice and how this is opposed to self-control. And I want to share with you a story that I think maybe can make evident this opposition between cowardice and self-control. So I heard this story from a priest, and he told me that many years ago, it was summer in Peru, and they went to the beach with a group of young men that they were doing apostolate with. And they went to a beach called St. Peter, San Pedro. And this was a particularly dangerous beach because the waves were sometimes unpredictable. And they went into the ocean to swim a little bit, and they started being pulled by the current. The priest and a young man. And the waves started, making them really struggle. And at one point, this priest said, "I think I'm going to die." And he remembers praying and saying to the Lord, "Lord, take my life, but at least save the life of this young man." And by the grace of God, they saved their life. They were so close to drowning. So they went back into the shore, and the priest told the young kid, "You know what we have to do?" He said, "If we don't go back into the ocean right now, we will live our whole life afraid of the ocean." And I know this sounds a little bit imprudent, but he told the kid, if we don't go back into the ocean, we will be afraid of the ocean our whole life. So they went back into the ocean, and they were prudent about it, but then they came back. So what does this have to do with self-control and cowardice? This is the point. When a person lets their fears dominate their life, the person has no self-control. Because what controls your life is not reason or faith. What controls your life is your fears. One more time. When a person is a coward, he allows fears to control his life. So then your life is led by fear, not by self-control, by reason or by faith. So what is the interesting point that I'm trying to make? I believe that the Spirit helps us to face our fears. I think that when a person is sincere with himself and open to the Holy Spirit leads you to a place of facing your fears. Because the Spirit doesn't want you to be your life led by fears, but led by Him and by reason. So that's why I think it was truly the Holy Spirit that inspired this priest to say, let's go back into the ocean. Because I don't want my life to be led by fear, but I want my life to be led by faith and reason. So I think this leads us to two practical places. The first practical place is I would encourage parents to teach their kids to face their fears. Always. Nowadays, parents sometimes want to shelter their kids from fears because they think, they're going to be stressed or anxious. But parents have to understand that they have to encourage their kids to face their fears because only then they will be truly free. So that's one practical advice. But the second practical advice is we should face our fears. And we have to ask ourselves, what are the possible fears in my life that I am avoiding that make me less free? What are the fears that the Holy Spirit in your life may be prompting you to face But sometimes we don't want to listen to that prompting. So that's why today St. Paul says, cowardice, spirit of self-control. Because when you don't have self-control, you are dominated by your fears. How do you overcome your fears? You face them. And that's why the Holy Spirit says, don't run away from your fears. Face your fears. Because the only thing that must dominate your life is reason and faith. So today, let's ask the Lord, like St. Boniface, right, who was a martyr, who really shines in the virtue of strength. Lord, help us to face the things that we're afraid of so that we can truly find freedom in you.